Jiang Si traveled to the three-body problem and became the Luo Ji of this world. He carefully plagiarized the correct answer from the original teacher Luo Ji to become the second one. But guess what? Just as he put down his gun and had a conversation with the Trisolarans, Jiang Si traveled back to Xingyue. What's the point of crossing over and then crossing over to a world struggling on the death line? The earth of steel, the coral of the moon, the white paper of the earthFear. Afraid. Jokes. Is the worldview of the three-body problem not desperate enough? From then on, Jiang Si began to release himself in Wojia, but it all starts with him encountering that purple little eggplantPS. This book is also called From One End to Another, People Have Become Fried Dough Twists.Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. What evil have I created? Seeking. You are listening at novel-full.audio. After centuries, the surface of the earth remains so natural, and this time is nothing to the earth. But for humans, this period is the countdown to death. After the 3,000 sounds in space, humanity once again fell into endless panic, and this intriguing era should also come to an end on a small hill. Jiang Si tried to stand up while supporting Wojia's tombstone, but a moving black dot on the tombstone caught his attention. He knew that he was only one crucial step away from success. My name is Jiang Si and I am a traveler. Unfortunately, I have traveled to a world of three bodies, where living is no better than chronic death. Why do you say that? Because I replaced Luo Ji in this world. And at that time, I couldn't escape anymore. When Jiang Si came to this world, Yang Dong had already died, and Wojia was right beside him, telling him the laws of the universe. Firstly, survival is the first necessity of civilization. Secondly, civilization continues to grow and expand, but the total amount of matter in the universe remains unchanged. You go and study the sociology of the universe. He knew he couldn't escape. Perhaps during his conversation with Wojia, he had already been targeted by Zhizi. Jiang Si knew he knew everything, but it was because he was too clear that it was the biggest unstable factor. In this world, there is no protagonist halo, and once his actions are a bit too big, it is very likely to trigger the butterfly effect, causing irreversible results. Perhaps before the arrival of the Trisolarans, I was directly targeted by ETO. So after that, Jiang Si worked hard to develop towards the original text of the three-body problem, making countless psychological suggestions to himself. He is not a real Luo Ji. If he were to be broken by ETO, he would also get barbecue. During his time at the villa, Taylor broke the defense and committed suicide, which he witnessed with his own eyes. Although there were some deviations during the process of copying teacher Lu's homework, we finally got back on track. Only Jiang Si knows the hardships of this road, and he is powerless to intimidate the future of the era. It's really too difficult. Fortunately, I have successfully connected the cradle to myself. No matter what reason Jiang Si has for stopping the cradle, Jiang Si's people are already numb. If the three-body people don't speak, then we will go through the anime 2.way foil, or be cool through the stars, light particles. At this time of the season, ants are unlikely to appear, but it is indeed an ant. It is climbing on the monument, just like its kind 2 centuries ago, attracted by the inscription and focused on exploring the mysterious crisscrossing grooves. Looking at it, Jiang Si's heart began to pump blood wildly because it was not early and it was time to start. If I do something wrong, I'm sorry. He said the words that had made him feel sad after seeing them countless times, but this time they came out of his mouth. Jiang Si stood up with difficulty, trembling weakly. He could only stand by supporting the tombstone. He freed one hand and tidied up his wet clothes covered in mud and messy hair. Then, feeling around, he took out a metal tube from his shirt pocket, which was a fully charged pistol. Then, Jiang Si faced the dawn of the East and began the final showdown between the Earth civilization and the three-body civilization. This moment of loading the history of two civilizations. I speak to the three-body world. Jiang Si said that his voice was not high, even trembling. He could have repeated it, but not yet. He was engaging in a psychological game with Zhazhong. Everything remained unchanged, and the tombstone stood quietly in the tranquility of the early morning. The puddles on the ground reflected the brightening sky, like mirrors. Zhazhong is here, but he doesn't want to appear. Both sides are waiting for the unbeatable defeat. However, true gamblers have already won before making a bet. At this moment, Jiang Si's high fever persisted and his body was trembling. He fiercely pressed his gun against his chin. I have a life detection system in my hand, which is connected to a launcher, and the terminal is more than 3,000 nuclear bombs deployed during the snow process. My heart keeps it from being triggered. The arranged nuclear bombs flashes after explosion form the coordinates of the three-body world. He explained everything calmly. It seems like he doesn't care about anything. Human beings are not grateful to Luo Ji, and Jiang Si is also unwilling to save humanity. He just wants to live. Now, I will stop my heart from beating, and at the same time, I will become the biggest criminal in the history of two worlds. I deeply apologize for the crimes committed by both civilizations, but I will not repent because it is the only choice. I know Zhazhong is by his side, but you ignore the call of humanity. Silence is the greatest contempt, and we have endured this contempt for 2 centuries. Now, if you are willing, you can continue to remain silent. I will only give you 30 seconds. He said this spell that had tormented him countless days and nights, and Jiang Si repeated it countless times in his heart. The initial dark forest, the subsequent dark wars, and in the end, this made Jiang Si realize clearly that humans are not the protagonist, let alone the miracles praised by humans, only cold facts. At this moment, he saw the world divided into 4 parts in front of him, one being the real world around him, and the other 3 being distorted images. The image comes from 3 spheres suddenly appearing above him. The 2 characters composed of 3 spheres completely relaxed the tense body that had been tense for centuries. Stop it. Jiang Si felt that he had come back to life and had never been so good before. He sat on the ground, waiting to negotiate terms with the Trisolarans. Shwa. But suddenly, everything around me disappeared. After a whirl of earth and sky. The barren hillside in the previous second has transformed into a technologically advanced curved corridor in the next. Jiang Si sat on the white floor in a daze. Thinking he was mentally unstable, he looked around stiffly and just saw the blizzard hanging outside the corridor glass and his reflection on the glass. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, everyone is crazy, Jiang Si murmured in his mouth. Suddenly, a girl with pink hair and a small white beast appeared in Jiang Si's dull eyes. They ran all the way over. Senior, why are you sitting in the hallway? Do you have anything you need? Fufu, the pink-haired girl expressed concern. Jiang Sigong regained his composure and looked at the girl and little beast in front of him. How does this person feel? A bit familiar with the beast. Dead memories began to attack me. JPG. Matthew. Fufu. Wait a minute, so this is Chaldea. As soon as he thought of this, Jiang Si settled in Bungbu and howled up to the sky. Oh my goodness. What mischief have I caused? He really can't stand it this time. Matthew and Fufu were suddenly frightened by Jiang Si and thought there was something wrong with him. They quickly went to see a doctor. From then on, Jiang Si's hope life began again. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Setting off personal concerns and enjoying a comfortable life. You are listening at novel full.audio. Phoenix Chaldea, also known as the Human Rights Protection Agency Chaldea or Chaldea. A magic workshop built as a location that is not interfered by any country and can keep secrets. Observing a world where magic alone cannot reveal the full picture, and science alone cannot balance the whole picture, is a secret agency established by various countries to prevent human extinction. Bad end. In the infirmary of Chaldea. Jiang Si was lying on the hospital bed, with Matthew, who had brought him over, and a doctor who had just finished his examination standing next to him. Romani Archimon, well, it's a fishing monster. Doctor, is this senior okay? Matthew hurriedly asked. He's not a big deal, he's just a bit mentally unstable. He should have received some stimulation. I gave him some medicine to stabilize his nerves, and then he should rest for a while. There should be no problem. Okay, then please take care of the senior, doctor, Matthew replied. Romani looked at Jiang Si, who was still in shock on the bed, and the corners of her mouth twitched. However, Matthew, what has this member gone through? It's the first time I've seen such a situation in Chaldea. I don't know either. When I saw my senior, he collapsed in the hallway and was very excited when I saw us. Matthew scratched his head. Fufu, sitting on Matthew's shoulder, also nodded. But when sending the senior over, he said some strange things in his mouth, Matthew said thoughtfully. What did he say? The doctor asked. Like what? I have never been a great kind-hearted person in the West. In my previous life, I must have destroyed the universe, and I am not a war criminal from the Peace Society or anything like that. The ingredients are too complex. I think it's probably due to the recent excessive training intensity of the director. After all, the director is very strict with the lords. Is everything okay? The director actually cares a lot about the seniors. Beep, Matthew, please come to the conference room as a member of the team. The radio suddenly transmitted a message to Matthew. Then the doctor should take good care of the senior, and I'll leave first. Well, okay. Just after Matthew left, the doctor flipped through Jiang Si's file. Name. Jiang Si. Age. 18. Record. Chinese, orphan, one of the few individuals with the qualification of a royal lord detected in the public. The magic circuit is of medium quality and of low quality, ranking 49th among the royal lords. Foreshadowing. Ah. Is it gone? Is the background so simple? Just as the doctor was puzzled, a pair of suddenly caught his white robe. Ah. He, who was the most complete and timid, was almost scared out of his soul. Doctor, please bring me a glass of water, cold, thank you. Jiang Si looked at him with his calm eyes. Okay. Okay, next time you can call me. I'll do it, don't scare me like this, the doctor said as he saw Jiang Si, who was unharmed. Jiang Si seems to have recovered. What a ghost. Take the ice water handed over by the doctor and take a deep breath. Then rest well, there are others waiting for me. After speaking, the doctor walked out of the room, leaving only Jiang Si. Looking at the white ceiling, Jiang Si was completely numb to fried dough twists. Bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. I thought I could live a few days of tranquility in the era of deterrence, but I didn't expect to come back to Chaldea, where the human spirit burned. This time it's really time to go back to Jiao. Judging from Matthew's appearance, it won't be long before Crown Bomber Ralph uses his C4 to blow up Chaldea. Human reason burns, the earth of steel, the coral of the moon, the white paper of the earth, the tree of imagination. There are also people with backstabbing. This joy is not less than that of the three-body problem. It's the same for Jiang Si. No matter how powerful it is, any one of them can eat him to death. In Chaldea, one would die tragically, but outside Chaldea, one would die repeatedly. Only in Chaldea can he be obedient, waiting for Gadotsi to rescue humanity. If nothing unexpected happens, Jiang Si would have done this for the first time when he traveled here, but he has personally experienced despair and gambled his life countless times. In the three-body problem, he saw the sacrifices of countless people, including Zhang Beihai, Shichang, Deng Shichang left early at the Green Leaf restaurant because of an artificial intelligence incident. In order to protect him, Shichang, a tough guy who had protected himself countless times, left like this. Everyone died under the script, and he was helpless. The situation was too huge, and his existence seemed so powerless. For that damn ending, he couldn't go save it. What kind of ending is worthy of this tumultuous journey? Despair is the theme of the three-body problem, and beneath the starry sky lies one civilized battlefield after another. In Xingyue, the gentle doctor will die, the quirky Da Vinci sauce of elves will die, the cute Fufu will die, even Matthew will not let go, and Renly TM will also play backstab. So he decided, okay, let's play like this, then don't even bother playing. I'm tired of it, TM, geisha, right. Renly Xiao, right. I eat lemons. Don't give us a way to survive, right. Then we won't die or rest. Jiang Si looked grim. Let go of personal worries and enjoy a refreshing life. Jiang Si has been completely pressured. You said that the three bodies approaching the reality could do nothing, but you said that the anime, which is full of miracles, could not be changed. It was really rubbish. But I don't have much time left. Let's start with Ralph's surgery. Get it? My butt hasn't heated up yet, so I have to start working. After Jiang Si arrived at Xingyue, he directly began to release himself, integrating hosts, language matching successful, 0 arsenal at your service. Jiang Si. Shouldn't I have received a battle script? How could there be a golden finger? What's wrong with this script? In a laboratory in Chaldea, sneezing, Ralph sneezed. What's going on? I didn't catch a cold either. My king's great cause is about to begin, but no one can stop the burning of human reason. But why do I always feel like something's staring at me? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Praise the machine soul. The supreme Willow steaming steel. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The host is awakening this library, permission 1, open, optimizing to adapt to host cognition, as mechanical Chinese spread in Jiang Si's mind. This is the arsenal of Zero Civilization, one of the top civilizations in the three-body universe. When studying the micro level and involving the soul level, I want to load their arsenal. But who knew that due to subtle deviations leading to riots, the soul weapon vault directly entered another level of latitude, and then accidentally came to Earth, bringing Jiang Si directly here. Immediately, a virtual layout was projected in front of him, like an arc-shaped panel in an out-of-control player, filled entirely with weapons. Knives, guns, sticks, swords, various hot weapons. Wait, what did I see? Shoulder-mounted electromagnetic gun. Magnetic storm bomb. High-flexibility exoskeleton mecha. The most explosive thing is the miniature nuclear reactor. All the ultimate weapons of nuclear civilization. This is only permission 1 that can be opened. Jiang Si is certain that there will definitely be 2.Way foil and even rule.based weapons in the future. The unlocking of permissions will be based on the host's soul, which can be considered as filling the last research loophole of the zeroing civilization. Moreover, the quantity is large and sufficient, and there are also manufacturing methods and usage instructions included. Even if Jiang Si is so extravagant, he cannot use them all. This is the crystallization of top-level civilization. Interestingly, I didn't expect to bring a golden finger during my second time traveling. It's still the top civilization in the universe, the zeroing civilization. No matter how strong Gaia is, she can't hold a glowing grain. No matter how hard the Earth is, it can't withstand a 2.Way foil. Is this the hero reward for beginners' direct level challenge? Keep going. Jiang Si sighed. Not to mention the future, the weapons and other resources that Jiang Si can mobilize now will definitely be sufficient in the early stages. The only downside is mystery. The mystery of these weapons is not enough, and we will need to discuss it with Da Vinci sauce in the future. Add a magic to my blue fire Gatling JPG. Praise the machine soul. Long live Duo Lu steaming steel teaching. The fact that Jiang Si went from being impoverished to inheriting a civilized family property directly did not make him realize it. The gap between civilizations is that there are only examples like humans and ants. Overcoming challenges is absolutely impossible, and other methods can only be used. Nowadays, Jiang Si is even more fearless. All fears in the face of firepower will dissipate, and if not, it means it's not enough. Jiang Si is in a very good mood now, even better than when he extorted the Trisolarans. He tidied up his clothes and walked out of his room. On the seats in the Chaldean corridor, staring blankly at the snow in Antarctica. He really wants to try his weapon, but he cannot reveal his abilities too early. However, how did I obtain the identity of the Imperial Lord just after crossing over? Just as Jiang Si was lost in thought, Fu Fu suddenly appeared and pounced on his lap, acting cute and coquettish. Fu Fu, Jiang Si smiled and lifted Fu Fu, thinking to himself. You, the fourth beast, are quite graceful. Your companions are either destroying humanity or on the way to destroying humanity, but you are eating and drinking in Chaldea. Fu Fu, how about I help you teach Merlin a lesson when you encounter that old Deng in the future? Fu Fu. Fu Fu was very excited and looked very happy. Fu Fu. As long as it's beating Merlin, we're friends. Fu Fu, so you're here with the senior. I've been looking for you everywhere. Fu Fu's imperial nanny, little Matthew, walked over from one side, and Fu Fu jumped onto Matthew's shoulder. Senior, how have you been recovering? Are there any other uncomfortable areas? Matthew is indeed my little cotton jacket, caring for everyone here. I'm fine now, thank you very much, Matthew. I heard that you are not in good spirits, and the director was very considerate in approving your leave. As the transfer of spirit is about to start, the director is very busy, so I came to inform you. Matthew's gentle tone almost made Jiang Si's people melt. Fu Fu seems to really like you, senior. It seems that Fu Fu's second nanny has appeared. Really, she's too gentle and adorable. Ma Xiu is really someone worth entrusting. Jiang Si praised. Matthew and Jiang Si had a pleasant conversation, but the appearance of a girl disrupted their conversation. A girl with orange hair collapsed in the hallway at some point. Jiang Si knows who she is. She is known as the strongest and most evil of humanity, tearing Solomon apart with her hands, indulging in drawing cards, and teasing the last ruler of her followers. Gudako. Fujimaru Rika, is the plot so fast? Oh, damn it, go to work, Senior Jiang, why is this senior lying at the main entrance of Chaldea? We need to wake him up quickly. No problem, Jiang Si made an okay comparison, picking up Fu Fu and leaning in front of Gadatsi. Fu Fu also understood Jiang Si's meaning and licked her face with her tongue. Woo woo. Who's licking my face? Gadatsi let out a cute cry to prove that she was awake. Looking at the cute Gadatsi, Jiang Si turned to Matthew and said, she's awake, let's leave this to you. I have something else to do, so I'll leave first. Then Gadatsi handed it over to Matthew and he was going to meet our Professor Ralph. As expected, I ran into him just a few steps away. Oh, isn't this our Professor Ralph? Shouldn't you be working in Chaldeas at this time? So it's Jiang Si. The work has been completed, and the director is going to hold an explanation meeting soon. I want to train, you new people. There's another one who's left alone, and I have to take her over. Let's go first. I'm afraid you have completed your task. The bomb has already been buried in Chaldeas. Jiang Si extended a hand. After that, I'll give more guidance, Brother Zhu. Ah, Professor Leifu. Finally, Ralph didn't pay attention and instinctively shook hands with Jiang Si. Looking away at Ralph, Jiang Si suddenly had a remote control device in his hand. When he just shook hands, Jiang Si installed a powerful miniature bomb on Ralph, which looked like a button. He is still immersed in the joy of almost success. It is highly likely that it will not be discovered. If you explode, you make a profit, if you don't explode, you don't lose. Let's go and see our proud and lovely little director. The plot after saving her should be very interesting, right? Central Control Room. Jiang Si is the last emperor, so he is at the back. However, this allowed Jiang Si to see many acquaintances. Kirchtalia Wadam, Ophelia Famsaron, Kadak Zemlups, Scandinavia Pepelankino, Mustard Kid, Beryl Gart, Debit Zem Woid. Matthew is still in some corner. After everything was ready, the current director of Chaldea, Algamari Asmalit and Nymphia, began to speak. Jiang Si didn't pay attention to what she was saying, but instead planned an escape route. It's a bit difficult to save Matthew and Olga Mary in an instant. But there's nothing I can say, I'll take action. After a while, Olga Marie finished her training, and just as the spiritual transfer was about to begin, a violent explosion exploded from the management room, causing flowers to bloom. Bang bang. The current Chaldeans are filled with the sound of security alarms. And what about Jiang Si? 3 seconds before the explosion, they put on an exoskeleton mech and catapulted straight towards Olga Marie, leaving everyone confused at first. But after the bomb exploded, I don't know what's wrong with them either. Jiang Si picked up the director with lightning speed and ran towards Matthew with maximum power. Although Jiang Si was prompt, Olga Mary still fainted. Jiang Si hugged Matthew and quickly found a relatively safe place. Senior. How's the director doing? Matthew asked anxiously. It's okay, she just fainted temporarily and will wake up. So everyone. Sorry, Matthew, I can only save the two of you. Jiang Si could have told Olga Marie that there was a bomb and that Ralph was the culprit, but compared to Jiang Si, she would believe Ralph more. I know, Senior has already done his best. But I still have to go save everyone. Jiang Si knew about Matthew's kind personality, and he couldn't let Matthew go alone. This is the key to entering the preface. Matthew, Jiang Si, how are you doing? The doctor, Gadotsi, and Fufu rushed over. Doctor, first settle down the director and maintain order in Chaldea. Matthew and I need to enter the central management room to see if there are any survivors. I'm going too. Gadotsi also wants to help everyone. Then let's hurry and leave. After speaking, Jiang Si left with Matthew and Gadotsi. At this point, the central management office was already a sea of fire, and Jiang Si and his team had one by one to transfer the lords to a safe place. The system's spiritual child transfer has entered the final stage. Coordinates. January 30, 2004, Japan's Higashiki Laplace's teleportation guarantee has been established. Singularities are ensured by adding factor sites to specific points. The anti-summoning system has been set. Please make the final adjustment, Lord. The Lingzi transfer system has been activated, and then the broadcasted a shocking news that shocked everyone. Warning observation members, the state of Chaldeas has changed. The near-future observation data of Sheba has been rewritten, and human traces cannot be found on Earth in the next century. Unable to confirm human survival, unable to guarantee the future of humanity. Done. It's all done. Some staff members see the red color of Sheba, which means that humanity has no future left, and a nobleman was sent out. The isolation wall blocked the 3 people in the central management room. Senior, we. Matthew looked at Jiang Si and said. It's okay, Ma Xiu's boat will naturally straighten at the bridgehead. Jiang Si gave Ma Xiu a smile. Wow, are we going to die here? My high school life has just begun. Gadotsi began to panic. Jiang Si hugged her and caressed her soft orange hair, comforting her, saying, "We won't die, believe me." Gadotsi, this foolish girl, was directly flushed, to the point where she even had absurd thoughts in the end. "Otherwise, I'll give it to him in the end." Gadotsi kissed Jiang Si directly. Now Jiang Si was instantly overwhelmed. "I'm flat A, you can directly amplify the move." JPG. Little eggplant Matthew, who had no romantic foundation, blushed and said, "Are the two seniors lovers?" Suddenly, a golden light shone on the three of them and they disappeared. A broadcast was also heard in the firelight. "The vital signs of the Lord in the basket have not reached the benchmark value. Lingzi transfer did not meet the required number of people, searching for eligible lords. Has been discovered. Reset the appropriate designation as number 48 Fujimaru Tachibana as the Imperial Master. Reorganize Jiang Si as the Imperial Lord, with the appropriate number 49. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. What are you barking about in a dog, Zhazhong? Seeking flowers. You are listening at novel full.audio. He walked with elegant steps, his cane swaying like an old man on vacation. If you're not familiar with him, he still has a comical green classical costume on his body. Matthew and Gadotsi looked at him solemnly. "Ralph. I didn't expect you to have taken this step. It's really beyond the planned schedule, and it's also beyond my tolerance line." Squinting, his eyes instantly turned ferocious. "You little brats who are still wet and wet. I spared you with kindness, but I neglected you all. Ralph, what's going on?" Obviously, Olga Marie is still unwilling to face reality. Director, Professor Ralph. "No, Ralph was the culprit of this accident." Matthew said. "No." Orgamiri lamented, knowing that Ralph was the person she trusted the most. Why did he betray Chaldea? This voice is a director. How could you survive? Ralph felt something was wrong, but he looked incredulous when he saw Olga Mary still in Chaldea. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. I buried the bomb under your feet. Ralph began to rage inexplicably. I saved it. Jiang Si, who was standing by, finally spoke. He calmly lit a cigarette. How dare you destroy our grand plan? If Orgamiri doesn't die, then Chaldea won't be dead, and future plans will become even more difficult. So, what are you barking at in the dog? Lockseed. Boom. A violent explosion came from Ralph, which was a miniature bomb that Jiang Si had placed on him earlier. This foolish guy has not even noticed it now. You scumbags dare to tease me like this. I want to keep you all here. Humanity has perished. The king has lost favor with you. Ralph roared softly. Suddenly, there came a hollow cry from the sky. Ralph lifted his head, his pupils suddenly shrank, and his eyes were filled with shock and fear. That is a planetary-class warship comparable to a city. Why does this thing appear here? He is the demon pillar, but he has been wandering among humans for so many years and knows that there is such a thing. But TM is science fiction. Can the current level of human technology create it? As expected, it was summoned by Jiang Si. Jiang Si and the others were under the warship, and he walked fearlessly towards Ralph. A high-level commander's equipment covers him. Is the Earth very big? Are there many 8 billion people? It takes so long to destroy a planet, what a waste. Jiang Si looked at Ralph with a stagnant gaze. Ralph felt a desperate suffocation from Jiang Si. Who the hell are you? There is absolutely no such thing as you among humans. No pressure, no color, very realistic. The people of Chaldea are now so shocked that they don't know what to say. I will meet with your so-called king. Before that, let me show you what clean and efficient means. Jiang Si snapped his fingers. The warship emits a magnetic field that isolates Ralph, and no matter what magic he uses, it cannot be opened. This is a magnetic field that uses the energy of the entire warship. How could it be easily opened? Director, prepare to transfer the spirit and let Mr. Ralph taste the big bone I have prepared for him. Okay. Okay. A halo flashed through, and Jiang Si and his group left. And the battleship launched a self-destruct program inside and fell towards the position of Ralph. Boom boom boom. No. This is impossible. Within this specific point, Ralph ended his career ahead of schedule. Chaldea. Thank goodness, it's really great that you can come back safely. Jiang Si and his team saw the doctor rushing over as soon as they returned. I'm almost exhausted. Matthew almost drained me when he released the treasure, Gadotsi said with a dying expression. Well, doctor, we really need a good rest, and I feel too tired. Matthew's eyelids were fighting. Okay, after scanning your physical condition, you can go rest. The doctor still needs to let them complete the process before they can rest. If there are any sequelae from the battle, it won't be good. What about you, Jiang Si? Take the black fool to the cafeteria first. After all, you can't eat with Chaldea, can you? As for me, I might have to talk to the director again. Jiang Si smiled and looked at Olga Mary behind the doctor. The doctor turned around and found Olga Mary behind him, with an imperceptible calmness on her face. Well, Roman, go ahead and get busy. I need to talk to Mr. Jiang alone, Olga Mary instructed. Let's go to my office. Olga Marie turned around and walked away, and Jiang Si followed along calmly. It seems that these two have a strong smell of gunpowder. The doctor looked at their figures. Olga Marie office. It's still a girl's office, with a unique fragrance. Sit down. I only have coffee and black tea here, which one should I drink? Coffee, after all, you often drink coffee too, so I think it's good. Jiang Si sat down opposite Olga Mary. Please, Olga Mary handed the coffee to Gingers. Thank you, Jiang Si said gentlemanly. Can you tell me who you are? Olga Marie took a sip of coffee and went straight to the topic. A civilized tomb keeper, a lonely wall-faced person, a passionate wanderer. This is their evaluation of me. I am more inclined towards the first one. Jiang Si stirred the coffee with a spoon, confusing the brushed texture. The tomb keeper of civilization. Are you from another civilization? What is that civilization called? Where is it now? Jiang Si only answered one word when asked after Olga Mary. Earth, another world. Are you serious? Olga Marie stared at Gingers with her beautiful orange eyes, but she couldn't find even a shred of evidence of lying. It seems like I have a lot to figure out. She rubbed her temples with a headache. Olga Mary knew that the origin of ginger sauce was a bit complicated. Do you want to hear my story? Jiang Si took a sip of coffee, an indescribable change that made Jiang Si's temperament change. I think. Wait a moment, Olga Mary seemed to notice something and walked straight to the door. Once the door is opened. Oh my. Ouch. Originally, Matthew, Gadotsi, and all the doctors came to listen to the corner. You two don't rest well, one doesn't work well and comes here to eavesdrop, wanting to rebel. The director's temperament can be said to be well grasped by Olga Mary. Hey, director, I'm just a little worried about Jiang Si. After all, he's the big project of this incident, and he even saved you, director, the doctor said in a sarcastic tone. Of course I know this, but it's not a reason for you to eavesdrop. You're not. Yet. When Olga Mary was about to call them back, Jiang Si spoke up. Director, let them stay. This may be very educational for Gadotsi and Matthew. After all, Chaldea will have to rely on them in the future. Okay, Olga Mary reluctantly agreed. Okay. Senior brother, senior, is the best. Ah. What about me? The doctor felt unfair. You go to order some dim sum. I know that your title as the king of dessert in the Chaldeans is not for nothing. Ah, the doctor wailed. Oh what, why don't you go now? Olga Marie directly dismissed the doctor's complaint. After the beautiful girls took their seats, Jiang Si began to tell the story of the three-body problem, or his personal experience. Let's start with the autumn of 1971. This story is very long enough to explain civilization and the universe clearly. But this story is very short, so short that it can be written in just a few 100,000 words. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Doctor, this thing works better than magic bullets. You are listening at novel full.audio. F specificity. Burning polluted urban winter wood. Surrounded by dilapidated buildings and constantly burning objects, the entire city is like a human purgatory. Matthew, there are still Dragon Fong soldiers here, and we are surrounded by them. Where is this? Why are there so many skeleton soldiers? Just transferred by Lingzi to Gadatsi in Dongmu City, Matthew and Jiang Si separated. Senior, please hide and let me deal with them. Matthew lifted a shield larger than hers and threw it at the Dragon Fong soldiers. The Dragon Fong soldiers are indeed low-level monsters, and Matthew has become a follower. Her explosive power directly shattered the Dragon Fong soldiers. But now Matthew has always been a researcher, and combat classes are often left behind, so her two fists are difficult to match for hands. Soon, she and Gadatsi were surrounded. Suddenly, there was an air explosion in the sky, and an iron lump fell from the sky, forcefully smashing a large hole in the cement floor, affecting a large area of Dragon Fong soldiers. It turned out that Jiang Si was preparing an exoskeleton mech to provide support. Before Matthew and the others could react, Jiang Si raised a highly SC-identify gun and began shooting around. The seemingly irregular strafing is all done with the help of auxiliary aiming, one shot at a time. This made Gadatsi's eyes sparkle. How impressive. How handsome. But it seems like I forcefully kissed someone. Right. Senior. Great, you're okay too. Matthew walked towards Jiang Si. Senior, I'm sorry about what happened in Chaldea. It's okay, anyway I'm not at a loss, is it? Gadatsi's face visibly turned red. Senior, how did you get this equipment? Matthew was originally very puzzled when he was in Chaldea, but he didn't think much about saving people at that time. Can you understand it as something like utopian manifestation? I can't tell you exactly, the relationships here are a bit complicated. It's really different, one science and one magic, Xingyue. Gadatsi also leaned in to watch Jiang Si's exoskeleton mecha, just like a sergeant. Senior, you're so amazing. Matthew grew increasingly fond of Jiang Si. Alright, let's first contact Chaldea. ×2, I finally got in touch with you. This is the Chaldean control room, can you hear me? The voice of a traditional Chinese medicine student came out in a virtual image, successfully reaching Chaldea. Director, I am still in a coma. Currently, I will be in charge of Chaldea. This is a member of Group A, Matthew has successfully transferred to the specific point F, all three members are normal. I'm so happy from the bottom of my heart that you're okay, the doctor breathed a sigh of relief. Matthew, how could your clothes be like this? I don't remember you're such a girl, do you? The doctor exclaimed, and in his impression, Matthew wasn't such a girl. The main reason is that Matthew's battle suit is too colorful. I seem to have gained some kind of power to transform into this kind of transformation. Matthew, did your head get stuck in the door? Jiang Si couldn't bear to watch anymore. Shut up. Dr. Roman, let's get down to business and examine Matthew's body. She seems to have become a servant-like existence. Oh, Roman awkwardly scratched his head. Matthew's body magic did indeed approach the follower, a situation known as the submissive form. Matthew told the doctor about her contract with Galahad. Next, this special point will depend on you, only you have teleported it over. Sorry for not explaining anything clearly to you before this happened, the doctor said very seriously. But I believe both Fujimaru Reika and Jiang Si are very reliable. Matthew is now in the form of a follower, so who is the Lord? The doctor set his gaze on Jiang Si, as if he felt it was him. Don't look at me, you know that my little magic can't support the followers. So, Li Xiang, you need to become Ma Xiu's Lord well so that you can unleash your strong combat power. In addition, Ma Xiu can teach the use of Li Xiang's magic bullet to prevent some monsters from approaching. Although I can't keep up with your pace, I will work hard, Gadatsi pinched her fist, expressing determination. Alright, the backup power supply in Chaldea is almost running out. Please go to the spiritual pulse 2 kilometers away so that our communication can be restored. Just as Jiang Si and others were about to reach the spiritual meridian, they were blocked by shadow followers and monsters. Shadow follower, Medusa, possessing petrified magic eyes is still quite difficult to deal with. Are you ready to be harvested by me, my prey? Matthew, prepare for battle. Jiang Si dare not rush forward now. This Medusa has high strength, so close combat is not a good choice. Matthew fought with her, and Jiang Si became the 6th in the back. It has to be said that Medusa is really flexible, but Jiang Si is also his magic weapon. Matthew forced her over. Oh, if it's a human that's in the way, I'll kill you first. Senior. Be careful. Just as Medusa was about to approach Jiang Si's exoskeleton mech instantly unleashed its maximum power and grabbed her. Then the core of the mech began to spin wildly, and a blue glow burst out instantly, shooting a light cannon. Medusa ate a full wave of atomic light cannons and lost her upper body. But Jiang Si's exoskeleton mech was overloaded and scrapped, but it doesn't matter. He still has many such mechs. Senior, your mech's light cannon is so powerful. Can you give me one? Okay, call out, Brother C, and I'll give you the whole laser cannon. Senior brother. Senior brother. I want it, I want it. Gadatsi's eyes lit up. Shouting like this is okay, here you are. Jiang Si felt that Gadatsi's call was somewhat strange but reasonable. Bang bang. Wearing an exoskeleton mech with a laser cannon, Gadatsi feels a sense of security. That arrogant appearance does seem a bit like human evil. When encountering low-level monsters like the dragon-tooth soldier again, Gadatsi will directly crush them. Haha, this thing is so useful. Gadatsi already felt that this thing was not as magical as magic bullets. Reached contact with Chaldea in the spiritual meridian. As soon as the doctor came out, he saw the arrogant chatter. Doctor, this thing works much better than magic bullets. Gadatsi raised his laser gun. Indeed, even an ordinary servant would have to leave a hole if they get hit. Ah! This was something that Jiang Si had told him before, but why did it feel like it was gradually becoming outrageous? Jiang Si, who the hell are you? How could you create these things out of thin air? The doctor asked seriously. Jiang Si's various behaviors have caused a lot of confusion for doctors. After all, Jiang Si's background and abilities are too mysterious. There are some things that doctors cannot explain clearly, even if I tell you, it will have to be in the future. You only need to know one thing. I have absolutely no hostility towards Chaldea. Jiang Si looked at the doctor seriously. I also think the senior is a good person, he won't be our enemy. Matthew's impression of Jiang Si and the feeling she gave her were not wrong, so Matthew supported Jiang Si. I think Matthew is right. Gadatsi agreed. Okay, let's solve the current situation first. To solve the singularity, we must first find the Holy Grail. This is the location of the 2004 Holy Grail War in Dongmu City, so. The doctor integrated information from the Holy Grail War in Dongmu City in this era to trace the origin of the Holy Grail. And at this moment, Jiang Si said. No need to analyze, I know where the Holy Grail is. Ah. Jiang Si, you. We've all talked about this before, and I'm sure I have a clearer understanding of what's going on, so please follow me. Shoo, please believe me, Jiang Si smiled thought-provoking at everyone. Since he knows all the plot, there's no need to beat around the bush and go straight to the big hole to find the Black Fool to retrieve the Holy Grail. However, before that, they still need to find Cuchulainn. After all, he is not a simple enemy of gun conversion. He is the Nordic god king. Odin. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Old Deng. Quickly explode gold coins. Seeking flowers. You are listening at novel full.audio. Jiang Si and his group walked along the shore and found the Dongmu Bridge. Senior, why are we invited here? Matthew pointed to the Dongmu Bridge. This is a holy place for famous scene check.in, and the people we want to see may come here. The Dongmu Bridge is the starting point of nuclear flat Dongmu. If I guess correctly, shadow follower Red A will come here. There is indeed a significant fluctuation of spirit particles here, and there may be followers, the doctor said. Suddenly, Jiang Si felt something was wrong and squinted his eyes slightly. Matthew, raise your shield at 3 o'clock. Jiang Si ordered. Matthew didn't hesitate at all and started taking action. Shoo. As expected, a light arrow flew towards them, but fortunately Matthew's shield blocked it. At the top of the building not far away, Red A aimed his bow at them. Gadotsi. You're following Matthew closely, the enemy this time is a bit difficult to deal with, Jiang Si said as he waved his hand towards the void. Hundreds of advanced drones appeared in an instant. Sniper, right. I'll let you do it. Stinky sniper. The drone launched like a hive, heading towards Red A. Boom boom boom. Hundreds of drones launched a missile capable of generating electromagnetic explosions, causing abnormal disturbances in the surrounding magnetic field and rendering Red A incapable of judgment. After firing the missile, they launched a suicide attack directly, and Red A also suffered considerable injuries. Damn it, there are too many miscellaneous soldiers. Just as Red A was preparing to leave the drone swarm, he felt the deadly danger. Not good. Jiang Si put on his exoskeleton armor and set up ASC-identify sniper. No. Whose TM sniper is over 10 meters long. Bang. Just like firing a cannon, firing an extremely fast red laser, Red A didn't have time to dodge, was Ling Zihua ready to hit the abdomen directly. Woo. Red A exits. Stinky sniper, is there a gun for the bow to use? And Jiang Si's guns are not all guns in human history. The nuclear civilization of alien technology is equipped with more awesome than it. And Matthew and Gadotsi next to him were already stunned. Who would have thought that when Jiang Si caught him in the void, he took out a sniper rifle that was over 10 meters long? What a strange ability. A voice came from the shadows. Matthew raised his shield and immediately took precautions in that direction. A blue and white man walked out. Hello everyone from Chaldea, let me introduce myself. Oh, isn't it Gouge Cuchulainn? Matthew, Gadotsi, this is the person we're looking for. Don't worry, he is a normal hero, not an enemy, ah. Matthew and Gadotsi were puzzled. This weird little brother really likes to poke people's shortcomings. That's right, I'm the son of Ireland's light, Quran's fierce dog, Cuchulainn, with a job as a caster. Your judgment is amazing, Jiang Si. The doctor didn't know why Jiang Si could tell the other person's real name at a glance, so he could only praise them. So Mr. Cuculin, can you tell us what exactly happened here? Matthew asked Cuculin. That's a long story. I'll take you to a safe place and speak slowly. Cuculin told everyone about what had happened in Dongmu City. So this is the reason why Dongmu City became a special point, so our next step is to defeat King Arthur and obtain the Holy Grail, the doctor said thoughtfully. Mr. Cuculin will also help us, right? Matthew hoped Cuculin would join, after all, more people add more strength. Well, your strength is pretty good, and that young man's strength is also pretty good, Cuculin agreed with the power of Chaldea. However, although your strength is strong, if you encounter a slightly troublesome one with a rational spirit, it will be a bit troublesome, Cuculin said to Jiang Si. I know what you're trying to say, the spiritual transformation of the spirit, right? That's right, once the spirit undergoes spiritual transformation, Jiang Si's physical weapons will become ineffective, and without mysterious blessings, it would be impossible to hit people. Red A and Medusa are completely devoid of their spiritual resources and have taken it by surprise. If they encounter the transformation of a black fool, it's hard to say. Senior. That. Me, Matthew seemed to have something to say. Is there anything you need, Matthew? You can confidently say it. Seeing Matthew stuttering, it seemed like something was happening. I don't think I'm a qualified hero yet, I can't even use my own treasures, Matthew blushed and lowered his head. Don't worry, Matthew. When you raise your shield to protect your teammates, you are already a qualified hero. You just need to stick to the meaning of protection, treasures will appear sooner or later, Jiang Si gently rubbed Matthew's pink hair. Is it meaningful to protect? Senior. I know how to do it now, Fufu. Woo-woo. Fufu suddenly crawled out of Matthew's place without realizing it. Yeah, did Fufu also come along? Why didn't I notice it all the way, Gadotsi wondered. She was always by Matthew's side, but she didn't see Fufu either. I originally wanted to tell everyone, but it has been due to the urgency of the situation, Matthew explained. Let's rest well, everyone. The intensity today is still a bit high, especially Gadotsi. It's still a bit uncomfortable to use the magic circuit for the first time, the doctor said. I will transport some supplies for you here, and I believe the director will wake up tomorrow. Well, that would be a lot of trouble, doctor, Matthew thanked. I can finally rest now. My head is still groggy. The complete operation of Gadotsi's magic still increases the burden on the brain. After watching Matthew and Gadotsi rest, Jiang Si saw the Kukiu forest from a nearby distance, gazing at the scenery. He smiled and operated the mech, jumping up. How's it going here? With Muspelheim in Northern Europe. Jiang Si's question directly made Cuculin somewhat abnormal. What are you talking about? Little brother, why can't I understand what you're saying? He began to pretend to be crazy. Stop pretending, Odin. Is the prototype of Cuculin yours? Is the prototype of the Death Thorn also Gungnir? When it comes to this Holy Grail war, I think the one most likely to survive is Red A, not Cuculin in the rank of magic. Collect your hat brim, guide, Jiang Si pointed to the dark clouds in the sky. I looked at Cuculin with his obsidian-like eyes, as if seeing everything clearly. In an instant, wind and rain mixed, and thunder soared into the sky. The Cuculin in front of me turned into an old man wearing a unique eagle helmet, with only one eye shining with thunder and wisdom. Nordic God King. Odin. The beginning and source of the story of Dongmu City. The specificity point F represents the first and also the final, ha ha ha. Odin laughed wildly, thundering with each laugh. Jiang Si's soul also felt the tremor of thunder. Fool. No. You're not from our world. I see absolute despair from you. What you see and experience is 100 times greater than what human nature can burn. The darkness hidden in your heart can devour the world. Human nature is so insignificant in front of you. A savior from another world. Jiang Si calmly looked at Odin's description of him. No, I'm not the savior. All I save is myself. I only live for what I love, and I don't care about anything else. Jiang Si has silently developed towards Luo Ji's cynical personality. Okay. Your strong emotions in your heart are in line with people's commonality. Odin shook his cane and the great god Luan darted around them. The catastrophe of this world is about to come. The rise of civilization will ultimately bring about its ultimate demise. The Sumerian god system is self-destructive. The Greek gods are just tentacles to planets. The deities in the Far East descend again and again. The gods in South America are even more extraterrestrial creatures. There is no god standing on the side of humans. Only the northern gods and the eastern heavenly sovereigns still stand on the side of fools. What will you experience is declaring war on Earth's past history and fighting for a place for humanity. What will you do? Odin revealed some things, and Jiang Si was more aware of the magic behind it. Odin wanted to know if they had the determination to be solitary warriors like this. It doesn't matter, just look at the watch, take a bath, and feel comfortable every second. I give them face, they are gods. If I don't give them face, they are nothing. But before that, Lao Deng, let's burst some gold coins out. Very crazy, even Odin's interest in him grew stronger and stronger. A human who clamored for gods, without any respect. Is this your determination? So, what do you want, the savior? Initially, Luan's demotion, as long as he can enchant. And my soul's sublimation, Jiang Si said of his request. In the beginning, Luan wanted single weapons to have mystery and defeat magic with magic. After all, that thing is too mystical and material is not conserved. I want to enchant, I want to become a powerful person. JPG. The sublimation of the soul can open up the permission to reset the arsenal of weapons, and each stage of weapons is definitely a big step towards civilization. Is original one relegated? I thought you wanted the lion to speak up and directly take original one, but now with only a little divinity that Cuchulain can accept, so it happens to be only a part. Luan's wisdom is not something that everyone can bear. Even Odin hung on the tree for a few days. The sublimation of the soul is for your strange abilities, right? Jiang Si nodded, and Odin didn't hesitate. With a big wave of his hand, a magic circle rose from the ground, covering Jiang Si. 0 arsenal permissions have gained new knowledge. Start scanning this latitude information and covering unknown capabilities. Permission 2 is open, and aerospace-grade weapons are open. Great. The sublimation of his soul made him more aware of the world, and a series of mysterious rune knowledge were collected in the arsenal, automatically covering the weapons with magic. Alright, I have fulfilled your request and it's time for you to fulfill your mission. Good luck to you. That orange-haired little girl has come to find you. Your peach blossoms are not shallow, hold on. Little brother, let's go first. Remember to summon me from the gun rank next time. Odin disappeared, replaced by Shugu, who gave a cheap smile and left. Dogs have to be dogs. Jiang Si was preparing to go back when he encountered Gadatsi on the way looking for him. Oh, Gadatsi, why don't you go rest? The next battle won't be easy to fight. Well, I saw that senior brother you weren't there, so I came out to find you. Why does senior brother always call me Gadatsi? The name Gadako also comes from the pronunciation of its Japanese name, Grand Order, combined with the transliteration of Gadako. The word Gadatsi also has a nagging meaning in Japanese. Don't you think this name matches you well? Gadatsi was also very disdainful. Forget it, senior brother's name sounds very nice too. By the way, senior brother, do you think we can still return to normal life after such a big chaos in Chaldea? Jiang Si took Gadatsi's little hand and placed it in the sky, covering the stars. Her face instantly turned red. Even if we seize a little hope, we can reach the end. Chaldea will recover, and there will be no shortage of people. Now Jiang Si can't wait to go back and take a look at the weapons of aerospace civilization. There are interstellar warships inside that can fly deep into the sky. I used a spaceship to smash people, isn't he breaking the law? JPG Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Warm up the bed. Director. Seeking flowers. You are listening at novel full.audio. Hello, can you hear me? This is Chaldea, and I am the director Olga Mary. Resting until the next day. In Chaldea, Olga Mary is no longer in any way. Great. Director, you're awake. Matthew was happy to see that Olga Mary was okay. Well, I'm fine now, but all the lords except for you have been seriously injured and are now frozen, surviving the crisis of life, Olga Mary said with a headache. Jiang Si, who was next to him, found a box of cigarettes and skillfully picked up a match to light it. He had become accustomed to it on the estate of Earth. Jiang Si, right. Roman has already told me about your situation. Who the hell are you and why did you come to Chaldea? Olga Mary's voice began to sharpen. You saved me, I can consider letting bygones be bygones. Who? Jiang Si puffed out a cigarette ring and said calmly, I'm just a sociology PhD from Qingbei. Director, this is not the time to investigate my identity. The current situation is so much fun. Jiang Si looked at Olga Marie with a serious expression. This seemingly tough girl actually has too much to bear. Her father left a mess for her, who is still underage, and this burden continues on humanity. She is gentle, but she has to be tough, under so much pressure, always ready to drink coffee, and always ready with calming dried fruits. Her only tenderness is given to the old rascal of Ralph. Just scolding her for her leave, Jiang Si appreciated her very much, and her feelings towards Chaldea were extraordinary. Olga Marie looked at the young man in front of her, who was only 18 years old, and saw an unprecedented courage and a sense of vicissitudes in him. Okay, Matthew and the guy who slept in the meeting approved of you. You must bring them back safely. It's like Chaldea owes you another favor, Lord 49. Olga Mary was also very helpless, and Chaldea couldn't afford to lose anyone. The current Chaldea is like a solitary boat, with no place to stand. That's for sure, I assure you of my lovely talent. Hey! Don't use that tone, you're so disgusting. Olga Marie looked disgusted. Alright, let's not joke anymore. We're about to set off to get the Holy Grail. The person guarding the Holy Grail is not easy to provoke. That's King Arthur, the legendary king, said Jiang Si. Well, it's really troublesome, can you handle it? Olga Mary worried. It's possible, but... It'll cost more, Jiang Si said with a hint of caution. Money. Why do you want that kind of thing? It's not available now, Olga Mary frowned. Ah, that's a metaphor. Jiang Si extinguished the cigarette. What exactly do you want, this guy? Olga Marie thought to herself, indeed, this guy is not so willing to give up easily. What do I want? It would be great if the director could warm my bed for 2 days when I come back. Ah! You rascal! Go to hell! Olga Marie was completely defeated by Janice. The two melon-eating people next to me are also talking about it with great enthusiasm. Matthew, our senior brother's familiar with the director. It feels like their conversation is a bit sweet. This CP, I knocked it. Gadotzi's eyes lit up, and as a rice bug, she was also a CP knocker maniac. Ah, I haven't seen any relationship between the senior and the director before. And why is the conversation between the senior and the director so sweet? Oh, Matthew, it seems you still have a lot to learn, Gadotzi instructed Matthew with an old and confident expression. Well, indeed, I still have a lot of life to learn from my predecessors, Matthew nodded seriously. It seems that Matthew is already being misled by Gadotsi. Outside the large cavity, black magic permeates everywhere, and the violent atmosphere makes people restless and uneasy. The deep breath envelopes the Holy Grail, and the magic of this land has long been drained away by the Holy Grail, completely losing its vitality. Jiang Si and others have arrived. It's really scary here, Gadotsi grabbed Matthew's hand. I will protect my seniors, Matthew said firmly. Entering the big hole, even Jiang Si was truly shocked by the environment in front of him. The High Holy Grail is shrouded in circles of purple-black light, and the guardian of the Holy Grail is right in front of it. This is made by the Ainsbellen family Altoria Pandragon. King Arthur. However, it was blackened out. King Arthur was wearing a ferocious black armor, with his hands on the holy sword. The magic around her was constantly twisted, and it was unleashed, creating a powerful force field. Suddenly, she opened her eyes and looked at the intruder Jiang Si and his group, like a giant dragon staring at the thief who wanted to plunder its treasure. She's like a humanoid dragon. Olga Mary, who was far away in Chaldea, also felt her pressure. Speaking of which, Daimao Wang was originally the son of the Red Dragon, and the strength of the dragon heart provided a large amount of magic, making every blow of her incredibly heavy. Use magic to unleash powerful monsters that generate impact. You must be careful, Olga Marie reminded. At first, I thought that guy's description was already terrifying, but now it seems like I underestimated it. Oh, Altolia saw everyone, they are really a group of interesting challengers, she said softly. I didn't expect you to be able to speak. Did you intentionally not speak before? Cuculin said to Altolia. Because every word and action is always under surveillance, I went the other way and chose to remain silent here like a scarecrow. Altolia looked in a certain direction. However. Interesting, unknown girl. Your treasure is indeed interesting, Altolia looked at Matthew with great interest. Then pick up your big shield and stop me. Altolia rushed towards Matthew at an extremely fast speed. Hurry up to Matthew. Gadotsi commanded. Under the guidance of Jiang Si and Gouge along the way, Matthew's combat skills can be described as advancing by leaps and bounds. Now we can play on par with Altolia, of course, with Altolia releasing water. Jiang Si knew that this was testing Matthew, so he didn't go to help. Finally, Altolia let out a long breath and prepared to open her treasure. Hammer of King Bei, reverse the daylight and devour the light. Excalibur Morgan. A black beam of light surged out of the holy sword, and the black light roared. Want to blow down all obstacles. Matthew struggled to resist the light cannon, but Altoria possessed the magic of the Holy Grail for nearly 50 years. Just as Matthew was about to give up, Jiang Si shouted to her. Matthew! Think about what you raised your shield to protect. Why fight at all costs? Fighting to protect what? Matthew suddenly regained consciousness. It's fighting to protect human rights. It's fighting to protect the smiles of our predecessors. It's fighting to protect the hope of humanity. Unfold the treasure. Matthew and I will read together. Jiang Si wanted Matthew to know in advance. Announce, I will stand at the table of disaster, which is our hometown that can heal all wounds and grievances. Show it. Lord Camelot. Times 2. A shining city has emerged, guarding everything. As long as the heart does not yield, the city walls will never collapse. Finally. Held on, Altolia stopped her sword for some reason and said. Although I wanted to protect the Holy Grail, I failed due to my excessive persistence. In the end, no matter how fate changes, as long as I am alone, I will always face the same end. Jiang Si knows what she means by saying, senior brother. What exactly does she mean by what she said? Gadotsi asked in confusion. Every person who receives the Holy Grail will have their own obsession, and because of this obsession, they have created special points. You're very special, we seem to have seen you somewhere before. Altolia opened her eyes and looked at Jiang Si. That's right, Grand Order. The war surrounding the Holy Grail has just begun. It seems that Altolia is about to give up on her own. Is that all we have to do? Are you interested in coming to Chaldea? Jiang Si threw an olive branch at Altolia. Oh, have I joined? What are the benefits of me? Asked the Black Fool with interest, to be expressed as Black Fool in the future: freedom, battle, adventure, excitement, and the truth. Jiang Si listed one by one what Chaldeans would experience in the future. The most important welfare is fill up. And there will be countless civilized delicacies to taste. Jiang Si walked step by step towards Haidai. Ah! This is obviously being grasped by the food and starting to shake. Steamed lamb, steamed bear paw, steamed deer tail, roasted duck. Steamed 8 treasure pig, Jiangmi brewed duck, canned wild chicken. Ah! Is there so much? Black Dumb is now discussing the names of ginger sauce dishes. Do you want to eat? Jiang Si's face approached Haidai. His eyes met, and it was clear that Black Days was not a match for this cunning, old guy. Think, damn it. Gadotsi, come over here and sign a contract with Altolia. Oh, here we go. Gadotsi Lu ran over. However, Olga Marie was silenced. Is it so easy? It's obviously just an opponent. Can King Arthur be solved with only a little food? Olga Marie said crazily. Roast. Jiang Si. That's because you're not Chef Wang. Director, it seems that the senior has taken care of Miss Arthur. How impressive. Matthew said truthfully. Not long after she joined the world, she immediately began to admire Jiang Si's actions. All right, we'll be partners from now on. Jiang Si extended his hand to Haidai. Don't forget your promise. Blackie shook his hand. The Holy Grail, here it is for you. As soon as the Holy Grail left the Dark Ones, the special points began to disintegrate, causing a great vibration in the space. Jiang Si, the Holy Grail has been collected and you are almost back, Olga Mary hurriedly said. No, Director, the matter is not over yet, and you need to be mentally prepared. Matthew, Leah, get ready for battle. Jiang Si said briskly. Under Olga Marie's surprised gaze, a green figure appeared. Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 18. Don't change something. I still need this power. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At the banquet, Jiang Si felt the warmth of the Romans. It is truly a romantic country because the people in the magic circle, placed by Jiang Si, were all drunk and seemed to have not relaxed like this for a long time. Especially as the Emperor Nero, she drank the most today. The 5th Emperor of the Roman Empire, a notorious tyrant adorned with conspiracies and poison throughout his life. It was still this damn era that made her bear something she shouldn't have. Matthew and Gadotsi have returned to their room to rest, and the others have also left one after another. There was only Ginger and Nero left in a mess. Come. Play. Play, let's continue drinking. Hiccup. Nero belched his lovely wine. Your Majesty, you are already drunk. Jiang Si smoothly removed the glass handed over by Nero, and now Nero is so drunk that he can't even lift the glass. Ginger gently lifted Nero's delicate body, and her soft ginger should have reached her back. Having the same face as Altolia, but with such a big difference in figure, it seems that she needs to work hard. Jiang Si walked out of the banquet with Nero on his back and asked the guard Nero about his sleeping quarters. In Nero's palace, there were decorations of crimson and golden colors everywhere, and the fragrance of roses filled the air. Ong ong. A white lion suddenly appeared and roared at Jiang Si. whispering. Nero, who was sleeping soundly, was disturbed. Jiang Si looked at him with a cold gaze. The lion seemed to have seen some great terror and turned into a little kitten, trembling in its own nest. Jiang Si placed Nero on the bed. Suddenly, Nero broke out in cold sweat on his forehead and frowned, saying, "Yu's head hurts so much." Nero's mother Agrippina poisoned him from a young age in order to control him, which often caused him to have a fever and dizziness. Medical scanning. Scanning completed, developing specific drugs. Development completed. Jiang Si couldn't bear Nero to be tortured like this, so he immediately made a special medicine for her to treat her headache. Just how to feed it down. Now Nero's mouth feels like he can't swallow it. Let's just consider it as the reward you gave me. Jiang Si took the capsule and fed it to Nero. This little guy has a pretty strong mouth. Well, it's very moist. After Jiang Si left, Nero still licked his lips with a lingering desire. Reporter, do you think I have such a poor tolerance for alcohol? The performer is truly a perfect match for my heart. I must get the player. Nero's emerald had a small heart in his eyes. Get it. From Meima, Jiang Si, the battle record will be increased by 1. The next day, Jiang Si and the others were going to a volcano to summon Black Shen and the others, so they had to go and say something to Nero. Reporter, did you cure Yu's headache yesterday? Indeed, there is no headache and it feels much better now. I will appoint you as the lord of the harem. Nero began to shout at her loudly early in the morning. Your Majesty, I didn't promise to be your concubine either. Ahem. To be honest, Your Majesty, we may need to go to a volcano with spiritual veins. Reporter, are you going to Mount Elt? Yes, we also need to summon some companions so that we can help His Majesty Nero restore Rome. Thank you to the lords. Nero stood up from the throne and bowed to the governor and the others. When we come back, His Majesty Nero can stop the army and launch a counterattack soon. Indeed, summoning Heijin and Haidai can crush them all the way. However, we still need to catch a useful follower on the way. Of course it's our Mr. Kong Ming. Such a useful crutch, if he were to slip away, when would he be able to reverse the Qing dynasty and restore the Ming dynasty? Prime Minister, it's overtime. JPG. Of course, we also need to go to the invisible island to trick Steno into getting her hands, and then the third special point behind us will get Yuri Ali's hands. Only Medusa is left behind, and the three goddesses will be gathered together. The Chaldean girl duo can officially debut. Senior, did you cure His Majesty Nero's headache last night? Yes, I don't want anything beautiful to cause any pain in front of me. But doesn't this change history? Matthew was a bit worried. Despite being familiar with history, Matthew also knew about Nero's headache, but if something special happened again, it would be really troublesome. Matthew, do you think I'm strong? Of course, the senior is very strong. No matter how strong the enemy is, the senior can defeat it. Matthew said seriously, with a hint of admiration. Do you think my previous stories were hopeless? Jiang Si asked again. Despair. If I can't change anything in the face of tragedy, what's the use of my power? Once the specificity is fixed, all inaccuracies will disappear, and Nero's pain will continue to hit. But now, even if it's only a few days, we need to make her feel more comfortable. Remember Matthew, never follow the rules and follow your heart. Being a person is about having no complaints or regrets. Jiang Si supported Matthew's shoulders with both hands and looked at her purple eyes, saying, being a person. Without complaint or regret. Senior, Matthew understands. This is the first lesson that Jiang Si taught Matthew to be a good person. First, he learned to follow his own heart and judge right and wrong with his own heart. Start setting up terminal points. Start summoning heroes. Who, you despicable guy, has finally summoned me. After being summoned, Black Shen hugged Jiang Si directly. Master, I'm here too. It is beyond doubt that black darkness has been summoned, and her treasures are very powerful. The current magic of Gadatsi can only support Blackie and Blackie. They fought alongside Matthew like a series of followers, looking very pleasing to the eye. Since everyone is here, let's take a look first and also fix a special point. Jiang Si made a joke. I also want to play. Olga Mary whispered. Seeing the opportunity for everyone to have access to the outside world, Olga Marie, who lacked the qualifications of a lord, felt somewhat disappointed. It's okay, Director. I'll go shopping with you after we finish the heat treatment. Jiang Si blinked at Olga Mary. Obviously, Jiang Si heard her whispers. Who wants you to accompany me? You. You better go accompany your servant ladies. Olga Mary blushed. But since you begged me, I reluctantly agreed. The proud and charming director is really cute. Oh, players, you're back. Surprisingly, they also brought two beautiful girls. The composer and Yu's vision coincided by chance. Nero saw Black Joan and Black Dumb. Alright, Your Majesty, we can set off from the enemy's stronghold now. Since the composer is so eager to make contributions to Rome and Yu, then let's go. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 19. I was actually a hero in ancient Greece. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Anyway, the final battle has arrived. Now is the time for our soldiers to work together, and after this battle, I am bound to once again join the same Rome. Those self-proclaimed emperors. Today is the time of the destruction of the fake Rome. Nero is making the final mobilization for the soldiers. The sword of Yu is the source of passion, the sound of swords and halberds is like the stars of the universe. The Roman army began to gather and launch a counterattack against the imperial coalition. Jiang Si took Ma Xiu and the others to drive ahead. One is that he wants to find Zhuge Kongming, and the other is to go to the invisible island and catch Steno. I don't know if gathering the three goddesses can summon Gorgon. Jiang Si felt that there were too few hits along the way. Either it's a one.Time solution or a concentrated attack. It seems a bit too smooth. Geisha, this old Deng, may have noticed it long ago. With the addition of his enormous uncertainty, it is certain that Geisha saw it with a hint of darkness in his eyes. It won't let itself ruin his plan. Let me collect 2 more holy grails, the solar system master has his say. Physics is quite full, but encountering some troublesome magic can make it a bit difficult to deal with. At least until permission 4, when the knowledge of latitude is thoroughly mastered and the route can be analyzed, mysticism can officially join Jiang Si's arsenal and provide mysterious strikes. The rest of the matter is too complicated, the alien gods, the complexity of this civilization and its secrets need to be slowed down further. Jiang Si, we have detected the spirit bases of 2 riders' followers not far away. I'm not sure if it's the person you're looking for. Olga Marie saw the 2 red dots moving on the screen and told Ginger. Well, then go take a look. Acceleration, the tank suddenly changed shape and can travel better in this geographical condition. Just like a rocket, it arrived at the location with a whoosh. As soon as I got off the car, I saw 2 people. Ha! Jiang Si, is this the servant you're looking for, a man with long hair and a little child? Black Shen had some doubts. According to Jiang Si's strength, he should be a person with a strong aura. There is only one combination of father and child here. That's right, it's just him. Jiang Si pointed at the man with long hair. The man with long hair is Elmero too. Weber Vilvet. The red-haired boy next to him is the great emperor of his teenage years. Iskandar. Who is your excellency? What can I do for you? Weber shook his feather fan and said that whenever there was a situation, he would use his treasure to escape. How does the famous Mr. Ermero feel as a container for the Prime Minister? What, he belongs to the Elmero family. How could he be summoned? Is he also a follower, exclaimed Algameri in Chaldea. As the head of the Animsphere family, it is impossible that she does not know the Elmero family, and she is also a good friend of the second Miss Lennis of the Elmero family. Well, it should be called relying on the heroic spirit. He possesses the spiritual foundation of Zhuge Kongming, which can be considered a heroic spirit, explained Jiang Si. It's okay, but I'm not as wise as the Prime Minister. Are you interested in coming to our organization? Jiang Si got straight to the point. Why? Just because Your Excellency thinks I have the spiritual foundation of a Prime Minister. No, it's the Chaldeans who need talents like you. We can provide the best assistance here, oh. What help? If you can ask about the conditions, we can proceed with the negotiation. After the Chaldean affairs are completed, the debt of the Ermero family will be resolved, and your classroom can continue to operate at the clock tower. The Almero family will also regain the position of the 12 monarchs. Oh, what ability do you have to do these things? Weber's eyes lit up. Obviously, he was tempted. Pop. A loud noise came from the sky, and the interstellar warship made its debut here. What? Weber, what's in the sky? The young emperor next to him was also shocked. Is this enough? I can't do it. Can the clock tower deal with me? Consider it. Jiang Si withdrew the warship. Consider it, Weber nodded in a cold sweat. Then get in the car and leave, Mr. Kong Ming. Jiang Si changed his name and called him. Compared to Weber, he felt that calling Kong Ming was more comfortable. Can Iskandar join me in serving Chaldea? You only have 3 minutes to say goodbye to him. Jiang Si only said one sentence. It is obvious that Jiang Si refused his request. Sigh. Weber compromised. Perhaps it was Kongming's spiritual foundation that influenced him. Weber still felt guilty towards Kenneth, so he had to board this pirate ship. 3 minutes later, Weber bid farewell to the emperor and got into the car. Signed a contract with Gadotsi. Wow, Mr. Weber's skill is so awesome, it's just a universal aid. Gadotsi's eyes lit up when she saw Weber's layout. Welcome Mr. Weber to join, although the senior's attitude is a bit urgent, he is still very good. Matthew still welcomed Weber's arrival. Poor Weber didn't know that he would become the most tired laborer in Chaldea in the future. Alas, I died before I succeeded in my graduation, exhausted to death the Mediterranean. After receiving Weber, Jiang Si rushed here without stopping. Looking at the Mediterranean from afar, it feels like being in a huge picture. The ripples on the sea jump under the sunlight, like flowing jade, making people feel relaxed and happy. Jiang Si's goal is the invisible island. With a whoosh, a waterborne warship floated on the surface of the water. Matthew and the others were no exception, and Weber, who was new, was surprised. Some planets are over 80% water, so this type of warship is still very advanced. In less than a minute, Jiang Si and the others landed on the invisible island. Senior, feel the response of the followers. Not right, this feeling is even stronger than the follower, it should be an ancient god. That's right. I am an ancient deity. A pale purple girl with 2 ponytails appeared in everyone's eyes. Hee, I thought there were outstanding warriors coming, mixed with followers. I'm actually human, but maybe even the brave ones are. Steno, one of the 3 sisters of Gorgon, isn't he? That's right, I'm Steno, Steno boldly admitted to his identity. I didn't expect that humans could tell my real name at a glance, it's really not easy. Steno raised his bare hand to support his chin. Just call me as you please, after all, my beauty does not fade with time. What a god. Matthew looked at Steno in surprise. No. A familiar aura. Steno frowned as if sensing something and suddenly walked up to Jiang Si. Steno raised his head and stared intently at Jiang Si with purple eyes. Suddenly, he hugged Jiang Si. "You big rascal. That's the scent. Why did it suddenly disappear? My sisters and I have been sad for a long time." Sobbing. "Ah. Jiang Si, do you still know the gods?" Black Shen beside her was also puzzled. "That's not right. The first stop for the senior to come to this world should be Chaldea." Matthew was also confused. How could Jiang Si be related to the gods? Olga Mary bit her finger and pondered. Although Jiang Si felt very strange, why did Steno know him? Jiang Si touched Steno's head and comforted him. "First, tell me how you got to know me. I think there's something in this matter that neither of us knows." Steno stared at Jiang Si seriously, somewhat incredulous, but seeing that Jiang Si didn't lie, he still believed him. "Okay, let's just pretend you don't remember, then let me help you recall your story." Great hero. Jiang Si suddenly found out something. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9, Wait a moment, I'll first lift up 12 railguns. You are listening at novel full.audio. Your task is to correct history and obtain the Holy Grail. Olga Marie provided the final mobilization for Jiang Si and the others. Remember that your life is also the most important, you must come back alive, you know. Got it. Matthew and Gadotsi said in unison. This is probably their most tacit understanding. I will use a round table to protect the seniors. Black Darkness has already told Matthew Galahad's real name, and now Matthew has a higher sense of identity. Guarding, the seed of disaster. That reticent, like roast about me, and honest Matthew has finally grown up, Roman said. Dr. Roman, I believe the director won't mind your recent incident of stealing strawberry cake in Chaldea, right? Dr. Roman suddenly fell silent. Matthew spoke the most chilling words to Roman in the gentlest tone. Well, it's still that Matthew, the taste is right. Anyway, there are senior brothers around, so you can lie down and pass by, Gadotsi said, knowing how to put things on. After all, Jiang Si used to be an old legend of saving the earth, and with his powerful technology, he almost wrote invincibility on his face. Director, by the way, is it possible that as long as the factors that disrupt history are eliminated, no matter what happens, it will be restored, right? Jiang Si suddenly asked. Yeah. That's right. Olga Marie was about to nod, but seeing Jiang Si's excited expression made her feel something was wrong. Jiang Si, you should try to restrain yourself as much as possible. We all know your ability to blow up the special points to the sky. We haven't really studied whether we can recover, Da Vinci realized first. I understand, Da Vinci sauce, I'll try my best, Jiang Si said with an okay. However, how could it possibly converge? I have never fought such a wealthy war in my life. Olga Mary walked up to Jiang Si and tidied up his clothes. I believe you, you are the last hope of humanity. What's the point of being so unique? Unless the solar system explodes, I can save it, Jiang Si said confidently. Jiang Si's existing weapons are no longer as simple as hitting the sky with just one step. The weapons of the aerospace civilization are probably benchmarking against the mid-era of the Trisolarans. Once Permission 3 is lifted, it will be easy to cut from the strange smell belt to the hometown of the strange star god. Okay, I know you're amazing, said Olga Marie. Yo, the gurgling next to him, doctor, the Da Vinci sauce began to soothe. Olga Marie clenched her pink fist. What shouldn't be done yet? We're going to transfer the spirit immediately. It seems that Olga Marie is really angry. Personnel are ready. Tested members. Fujimaru Rika, Jiang Si, and Matthew. Time 1431 AD. Location France. A.D. 1431 France. In the beautiful spring and summer communication, a gentle breeze comes from head to toe, and one can feel the tenderness of nature. There is warm sunshine and plump white clouds above my head, which are not as beautiful as real. Having seen enough of the white snowflakes and the boundless grassland, it's really comfortable. Gadotsi was already rolling on the grass. Jiang Si and Matthew on the side closed their eyes to feel the nature that had never been polluted by industry. Sigh. Senior brother, Matthew, what kind of ghost is that halo in the sky? Gadotsi stood up and pointed to the halo in the sky. At this time, Chaldea also resumed communication with them. That's a magical ritual, Olga Marie frowned and said. It's no wonder there is a clamor for the destruction of human history as it unfolds in satellite orbit. That mastermind behind the scenes is not insignificant, said Da Vinci, an expert in this field with a serious expression on his face. I am quite clear about this, because it is the result of their rational burning, which is the heat energy left behind by human rational burning. No wonder. It turns out that the red color of Sheba means that human history has been destroyed since the past, said Olga Marie in an atmosphere. They are going to use this heat energy to activate powerful weapons and destroy humanity, explained Jiang Si. Oh my goodness! How powerful such a treasure should be, the doctor exclaimed. I'll probably wash the surface once, Jiang Si gestured. Ah! Everyone was almost startled to drop their chins. It's okay, I'll make sure he doesn't have a chance to take action then. The birth of geisha has arrived, and for Jiang Si, correcting everything with it is not as fast as sending a drop of water from the three body. Surprisingly, there is still a delay in the launch of the treasure. In technology warfare, time is the essence of fighting, and in high-latitude warfare, every second is at a pace of 10,000 years. Directly interrupt your transformation JPG, then first find the spiritual pulse so that we can teleport supplies for you. Olga Mary prepared something for them to summon servants, which happened to be delivered to alleviate their pressure. Then let's start taking action. The energetic girl, Gadotsi, was very energetic. Wait a minute, Jiang Si stopped the two of them. Senior, is there anything else? Matthew tilted his head. Shwa 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 shwa. Large items rushed into the sky in an instant, at such a fast speed that they even ground down the grass. Senior brother, what are you doing? Gadotsi shouted, obviously scared. Oh, I'll upgrade to 12 ground systems first, which will make future battles more convenient. Jiang Si, what about the ground system? Olga Marie curiously asked. It is the ability to emit destructive rays that can divide continental plates, a commonly used ground strike weapon in Star Wars. What is it? Jiang Si's tone was calm, but Gadotsi, Matthew, and the people of Chaldea were directly frightened out of their souls. Even Gadotsi didn't understand the power of this thing. She is a scumbag, but not a fool. Even the mainland can be divided, and even a single blow to an island country would sink. Jiang Si, how do I feel that you are the mastermind behind the scenes? The doctor paused and said. Each one has such great power, and we need 12 at once. You're teasing me. Alright, don't use it unless there are special circumstances. I have some less powerful ones here, such as antimatter missiles. This thing has low power, and currently it can only control its yield, which can only be eliminated by one island country. Look, is this speaking in human language? The treasures of advanced heroes do not have this power either. In just that moment, the people of Chaldea felt that the human body was burning well, and it was really terrifying to have offended this master. Jiang Si waved his hand and a technologically advanced tank appeared. Get in the car. Let me lead you to conquer this land. At this moment, Haitian still didn't know what monster they were trying to block. Are you ready to shiver? I'm getting closer and closer to you. Hey, General. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.